Morning, everyone. Welcome to Good Heart Metaphysical Church. My name is Keith Good. Want to thank Mary and Paul, my sister and wife, for helping us behind the scenes. And we're today we're going to talk about being your own spiritual leader. There's some things going on right now, but a couple of announcements to make. Friday, this coming Friday, the 20th, is the solstice. A little confusing to me. We'll go over that on Friday. We are going to have a special um, talk on Friday. May or may not be live. We haven't decided that yet. I think it's probably going to be recorded and put out there this time. Um, so keep aware of that. We'll have it out by 5 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time on Friday. It'll be about the solstice and possibly some other energies that are happening at around the same time and so forth. So um, that's one of the announcements, that we'll have a special talk for this fellowship on Friday. The other one is that next week we will be starting to work on the chakras, and we'll be going through an 8-week system on that, maybe 9. We'll see how it goes. We're going to do originally we'll start with a recap of all the chakras, and then each week we'll go into each chakra in depth, and we will go to all 7 of the major chakras. We'll explain some of the other thoughts and ideas of different people's thinking and clairvoyancies about other chakras that may or may not be of any significance to us, and we'll go from there. So that'll begin next week. We will touch mainly on the 7 main chakras, which are going up and down the spine for the most part. And but today we have a lot to talk about, and we want to talk about being your own leader, and that's pretty important right now. So let's go ahead and get started. We want to welcome all light spirits. We want to welcome all of you from YouTube land. We want to welcome all of you who watch us after the fact, after the live recording, and hopefully you'll get something out of today's talk. So right now, let's go ahead and do as we always do. We will pray to your own deity, and then we'll go into a relaxation process to help us relax and absorb whatever it is we are supposed to receive today, and go from there. So as we pray today to your deity, try to accept whatever it is that comes, whatever you're supposed to receive. We get into a comfortable position, keeping your spine as straight as possible so the energies move through your spine. Just go ahead and start to relax. Starting at the top of your head, relax your scalp and your temples. Relax your forehead, your eyebrows. Take a neck in between your eyes. Relax your cheekbones and your jaw, dropping that tongue down to the bottom of your mouth to help to relax everything in your jaw and your mouth. As you relax your ears and your neck, drop those shoulders away from your ears. Relax your shoulders as well. Relax your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, hands, and fingers. Relax your chest and your upper back. Relax your belly and your lower back. With each breath out, relax a little bit more another part of your body. Trying to breathe through your belly and not through your chest. As you continue to relax with each breath out, relax your buttocks and your hips, sinking down into whatever it is you're sitting on. Relax your upper legs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, feet, and toes. Take a few moments now to continue to relax as you breathe. As you come out of your relaxation process, come back to the room that you're in. Be receptive and accepting whatever it is you are to hear today and what it is you are supposed to receive. Give yourself to whomever it is your deity is and ask them to help you receive the right message. Okay, folks. There's a little more to. I mean, I can say, be your own spiritual leader, and expect you to figure that out. And but there's a little bit more to it than that, I think. I don't know if I'll be able to stand this whole time today, but there's a little bit more to it than what you might think. Um, First of all, I want to say there have been watchers that have been watching Gaia and humanity for many, many, many millennia. And it's come to my attention in the last couple of months, especially during this retrograde, that these watchers might be moving on away from guarding us. They've been guarding us from outside entities that might be dark. They've been guarding us from us ourselves being clumsy and doing things, in a way that is not good for us. And I say this because it seems like this particular retrograde, things have happened worldwide, but also within my own life and within lives around me that have been not understood as to why all of a sudden things like this are happening. I've been drumping a lot of things, let's say, for instance. I've been confused about why things are happening. And I think they're just, I don't want to say retreating because they're not, it's not like it's an enemy that's retreating. It's just, they're just moving back out of the way and letting things happen the way they would happen if we didn't have them. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about your guardian angel. Your guardian angel is somebody completely different than these watchers. These watchers are a group of star peoples that not just help each individual down here, but they guard the entire Earth. There is some kind of an agreement somewhere out there that says some star peoples are not allowed to interfere with us, and they've been enforcing that. But they've also been helping us to make sort of helping the guardian angels, I guess, is the best way to put it, to keeping you from being in danger all the time, keeping you from making small mistakes. Guardian angel does a lot bigger things, but these people were doing more for the smaller things, I think, than the bigger things. And they're just moving on. So you're going to see things. You're going to have to be more careful with power tools. You're going to have to be more careful driving. You're going to have to be more careful being aware of your surroundings so that you're not making these silly mistakes. And if you start making the silly mistakes, then that should be a key to you. That should be a clue to you that they're not watching you anymore. They're not watching over us as closely. They're still there. They're not going to leave completely. They're still there, but they're not going to be as watching us as closely as they have been. Okay. Now, what does that have to do with being your own spiritual leader? Well, that's very important, really, because being your own spiritual leader. First of all, I want to say before I get into what that's about, let me say this: when the full moon came about. Oh, it's been probably 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks ago. Well, it's probably been 3 weeks because the new moon's this week. So it's been about a little over a week and a half, I guess, because the new moon will be in about 14 days after this full moon. I was listening to a lot of astrologers, and every one of them said, "Be your own spiritual leader. It's time to start being your own spiritual leader." And that's what prompted this title. They didn't explain, as astrologers, how to become your own spiritual leader or how to be your own spiritual leader. They just said it's time to be your own spiritual leader. Well, let's think about that for a minute. And the watchers, and if the watchers aren't watching us anymore, if we're on our own, Does that make it the right time to be your own spiritual leader? So you can see and be aware of things differently. Um, the being your own spiritual leader, in a nutshell, is getting in touch with your own spirit. Your own spirit already knows everything you need to do and you need to deal with if you get in touch with it and get out of your own way. Okay. As you do that, usually most people do through meditation. You can also do it through yogic practices of getting more balanced, Tai Chi practices of getting more balanced, Qigong practices of getting more balanced. Some of these things like that are actually geared toward balance, and not balance like standing on one leg and being totally balanced on you can't see me standing on one leg, but I was standing on one leg there, see, and this is my bad leg that I'm standing on. I can do this all day long on my right leg. Can't do it so much on my left leg, but I can do it. But that's not what I mean. That's part of the balancing, but it's about balancing everything. It's about balancing the chakras. It's about balancing the third dimension with spirituality. It's about balancing science with spirituality. It's about balancing everything in the universe that is within you. Don't forget, the universe is within you, as above, so below. Every atom is in a planetary system, just as we are with our sun. And how many planetary systems are in our galaxy? How many planetary systems are in our body? As above, so below. So the universe is within us. So we are balancing the universe as well. If we attempt to balance, while you do that balancing, vibration rises. Vibration rises, you get more in touch with spirit. As you get more in touch with spirit, you can become your own spiritual leader. Now, because they didn't expand on this, I have to do this myself, and I'm really not doing this myself. I've said this a couple of times in the past, at least, that I come up here without a script. And while you guys are praying to your deities, I am also praying and asking for guidance as to what to say in my talk. I don't have any of this figured out ahead of time other than a title and a few basics. Okay. So what you're hearing is coming from guidance that I get in the moment. And nobody told me how to become my own spiritual leader. And none of these astronomers or astrologers told me that either. However, I don't think that pertains to, or don't think that says that you can't get guidance still. It just says to become your own spiritual leader. It doesn't mean that you can't go to somebody, you can't read books, watch things to help you find out how to do this. What it means is that ultimately you want to be your own spiritual leader. You want to be paying attention to your own spirit. If you're paying attention to your own spirit and you're really, really listening to your own spirit, then you're listening to my spirit and to Mary's spirit and to Paul's spirit and to Joe's spirit and to Tom's spirit, because we're all one. And you're listening to all the spirits of the universe. And then you can really react. You can become not just a higher vibration, but that higher vibration brings you to becoming the observer of everything around you, and not so much being just acting things out without observing what you're doing and why you're doing. As you raise your vibration, you might think that you should go into some sort of an elation. But the truth of the matter is, well, maybe we will get to a bliss someday. Maybe we will get to joy and love. But raising your vibration and each raising of vibration, it will show you that rising of vibration is a different outlook on what's happening around you. It's a different perception of what's happening around you. It's a different outpouring of what you have inside of you through your chakras, through your auras, through your actions, through your everyday way you treat people, how you help people, how you help yourself, how you do all these things will just automatically come out as you are rising your vibration. So as you raise your vibration and you get inside of yourself, you can start listening more for your intuition. That intuitive feelings becomes spirit talking to you. Sometimes it's other entities joining your spirit because we are all one and talking to you through intuition. Sometimes it's the aha moments. Sometimes it's the person in Walmart or the person that's driving down the road saying things to you or smiling at you in a car that makes you feel better. All of these things and help to raise your vibration. And becoming your own spiritual leader does not necessarily mean that you don't want to visit with other people that are like-minded to you, or it may, but what it does mean is that you will probably retreat away from people who don't serve you anymore. And you won't be stuck in the lower vibrations. And the people that don't serve you anymore are usually those of lower vibrations in you that you just are not capable of wanting to be around anymore. So then you're going to want to be with more like-minded people with higher vibrations. Not that you're putting down, you're not saying that those people with lower vibrations are bad. They're just on a different path. It was said to me one time that if I lost friends on my travels, it wasn't because there was a problem between me and that friend. It was the difference was that each one of us had a different path to go down, and it was time for us to separate and go down our separate paths. So we don't want to judge anybody. We want to accept them for having their own path. That's part of being a spiritual leader. We want to accept the fact that as people move on away from you or move on away from the group that you're in, they have a different path. It's not anything wrong with that. Every path has to be trudged, I mean, down by certain people in order to make the universe, in order to make everything work the way it's supposed to be. You know, so by being your own spiritual leader, you will go more into meditation. You will want to listen to your intuition more. You will want to get to more like-minded people. You will possibly want to get into more spiritual entities outside of the earth itself. You will appreciate the spirits that are in the earth, whether they are animal or plant or rock, crystal, any form. Everything on this earth has spirit of some kind. After all, it was created by spirit, so it has to have spirit in it. So no matter what your deity is, who your deity is spirit. So everything has spirit in it. So you will understand that. You will see more of that. You will appreciate that. You will want to be more kind to that. You will want to be more compassionate to those spirits that you haven't necessarily even understood in the past. We have a dog at home, and we swear that she's a higher vibration than either one of us. She reads our minds. She feels our energies. She does all the things that we think that we would like to do. And she shows us so much love that it's just unreal. It's unconditional. It's true unconditional love. That's just one example, you know, of some animal that's that close to us. But we've been watching, and I'd love to get one of these for myself. But we've been watching on online these little electronic probes that you put on plants and listen to the music that each plant says and talks and sings and so forth. And each plant, actually, they have different. I saw one time where a different leaf on the same plant was singing a different song, and it's uncomposed by humankind, but it's still a song. It's a song of the universe. It's just amazes me, and it just thrills me to hear that. And it doesn't matter if it's a pine needle, if it's a oak tree or a maple tree or a bush or a piece of blade of grass. They all are singing this song that we can't hear while we're in this dimension. I'll bet if we raised our vibration enough, we could hear. I don't know that, but we can certainly hear them with these tools that they have out there, which is just, to me, is just phenomenal. How would a tree sing if it didn't have spirit? Why would it sing if it didn't have spirit? And I've never heard a bad song from them. I don't know if you can do the same thing with rocks with the right kind of probes, but I'll bet you if you had the right probes, you could. You know, the songs of this universe, the mathematics of this universe are phenomenal. And the higher we raise our vibration, the more we get in touch with that. The more we get in touch with that, the more we can lead ourselves, the more we can help to lead others, the more we can help change the world and the universe. So being your spiritual leader, your own spiritual leader, is very important at this point. If the watchers are leaving, if things are changing in this earth like they say they are, which I believe they are, we've seen signs of that. We've seen things happening, and if you really paid attention, we can see that things happen in this world on specific astrological times. In the third dimension, people say, I'm going to do this around this time. They may not cognitively know that, but it happens that way because the energies are bringing it about. So they may not even understand that they're being led by their own spirit, or that they're doing um, lower vibrational things on those times, because the old is still fighting us and the new is coming in. Remember, that was on the, when was that? The 18th and 19th, or 17th and 18th of February, where Neptune and Saturn came together, and one was about getting rid of the old, and the other one was about bringing in the new. I don't remember the exact dates on that, but it was right around 17th, 18th of February. And so the old is fighting hard. And there was an event that you'll have to look up on your own, because I'm not getting into some of this stuff, but there was an event that happened when all of our planets, how many were there, Paul? 6 or 7?
6, I believe.
6. When 6 planets were all aligned at the same time, there was an event that happened in the world, a major event that happened in the world. And I'll let you look that up and see what happened. But my point is, it wasn't by accident, it was energies that did it. You may not approve of it, I don't, but it doesn't matter. It happened, and that's the energies were there. We have newer energies coming up. I'll bring this before we have our solstice talk. I'll bring up the fact that the Mercury retrograde that we're in right now actually ends on a solstice, which is very, very strange, which I think is going to make the solstice a little more powerful. It's going to do some other things that may be bringing things on, because Mercury retrograde has to do with communication and transportation. We've had a few minor transportation problems in our house, in our property, and so forth. I'm not getting into that today because that's not about being your spiritual leader. But as these changes happen, from the eclipses to the full moons to the lunar eclipse, which was on the full moon, which it has to be to the new moon coming up 2 days before the solstice, retrograde. All this stuff is happening right now, plus other things going to be happening in the future. As all these energies move, excuse me, all these changes happen, I feel in my heart that it is now very important to become your own spiritual leader. Like I said, you can get guidance on how to do that if you choose to, but that's totally on you. But to become your own spiritual leader, you have to get inside of yourself. You have to find your spirit. So, yeah, that's really the message for today. And I really don't know what more to say about it. I don't even know how much time we've been online. Not very. Oh yeah, I think that's 10:30 already. So we've done well. I lose track of time when I'm talking on these with you folks. So subscribe, ring the bell, share this with other people, make comments, and as you are becoming your own spiritual leader, be spiritual in everything you do.